Hello, I am Sargon of the Fortress, and today I would like to speak to you about national values, nationalism and values, particularly in response to something that the other Sargon, Sargon of Akkad, said relating to the idea of a nation being a group of people that have a set of values that they hold in common. Now, this is, in my opinion, a very interesting question because it has a couple of possible implications. The first possibility is the idea that these values are contingent upon the nationality. The other one is that the nationality is contingent upon the values. So let us explore the first one first. So putting aside questions as to whether it is warranted or justifiable to base your values upon an identity such as nationality. Putting that issue aside, let us assume for a moment that your values are contingent upon your nationality. Therefore, your values derive from your nationality, and we'll see how that plays out. Well, the one problem with making such a statement is that that statement, therefore, requires you to make a falsifiable statement. That is to say, that all individuals who have a particular nationality share a particular set of values. Now, in the case of Britain, this is demonstrably false, as many individuals in Britain hold very many different values, not just including immigrants, but also the native Britons themselves. So if we really take this idea to its logical conclusion, we end up understanding that this is actually a category error because it requires you to believe that all these individuals have the same values because of their nationality, which is not true. So you end up with essentially a situation similar to the No True Scotsman situation. So let's now instead move on to the other possible interpretation, and that is that nationality is contingent upon values. Now, this avoids the problem of the first one by making the values themselves part of the definition of what it means to be, let's say in this case, a Briton. So if we take this and we analyze it, what we come to is the natural conclusion that we assume that individuals who have values that are heterodox to the British values are therefore not British individuals, even if this person may derive from a lineage that has been residing in Britain longer than, let's say, the Romans have been. So if we take this, it would require one to then say that such individuals who have differing values are therefore not truly Britons. And the problem with someone like Carl Benjamin making such a statement is that although Carl Benjamin is indeed okay with being hypocritical to some extent, I believe that this would certainly go to a level of hypocrisy that many people would consider going a bit too far, because what this essentially would require one to do is to delegitimize one's ideological opponents from being part of a nationality, therefore meaning that those individuals would not be able to have political power within Britain. In other words, it would remove simply all individuals that hold a different set of values to what is considered to be the core British values, which is a type of ideological gatekeeping which Sargon of Akkad has indeed criticized the British establishment, particularly the media, for doing. And I do not believe that he is willing to go to such lengths to do this. So ultimately, it seems to me that whichever position he takes is indeed an incoherent position, whether it be on the one hand logically incoherent, or on the other hand incoherent with his actions. So, of course, there is a third possibility, the idea that neither are contingent upon each other, but that instead they are in parallel, correlative. However, the problem with that is that accumulates both problems from the problems from the two perspectives at the same time, which of course would also be disadvantageous. So ultimately, the idea that there is such a thing as national values upon which one should make something legally enforceable is either on the one hand illogical, or on the other hand tyrannical, and on the third hand both. So there you go. Please tell me what you think in the comment section below, whether you agree or disagree with my assessment. Is there perhaps something else that I did not take into account that you would like me to take into account? Is there perhaps a refutation of my particular ideas? I would always be happy to hear that. If I am indeed incorrect, I would rather be correct than to continue in falsehood. So thank you all for listening. I have been Sargon of the Fortress, and I will see you all next time.